Today, the Subcommittee on Federal Lands continues our celebration of America by considering legislation that recognizes the brave men and women whose heroism and sacrificial service to this country protect our safety and the liberties that we cherish. The legislation we will consider today offers thoughtful solutions that will improve outdoor recreation opportunity for our nation's heroes, provide spaces for relaxation and healing for military families. The perils of military service unfortunately leave many members of our armed forces with long-lasting wounds, some visible, some invisible. An estimated 50% of veterans experience some combination of combat-related psychological or physical injuries, and as many as 66% have diagnosable mental health issues. Research has consistently shown that time spent in nature and recreating outdoors can be beneficial and therapeutic to soldiers returning from the battlefield, particularly for those dealing with PTSD. With the proper stewardship, our national parks and public lands can play a critical role. I would say all of us can benefit. All of us can benefit from being outdoors, which I'm looking forward to this weekend. Offering convenient, affordable, and accessible recreation opportunities to our country's armed services and veterans. The unfortunate reality is that veterans and wounded warriors in particular often find much of our public lands to be off limits. Trails can be inaccessible or not maintained. Outdated regulations can limit the use of new, adaptive recreation equipment. And even if adaptive recreation opportunities are offered, finding information about those opportunities from federal land managers can be next to impossible. Our veterans deserve to access the very lands they fought so hard to protect and defend. Every American owes our nation's veterans an unpayable debt, and it is incumbent upon each one of us sitting around the dais today to fight to ensure our public lands are stewarded in a way that makes them accessible for our nation's military, veterans, and Gold Star families. That's why I'm a strong supporter of Representative Kagan's legislation, Military and Veterans in Parks Act, or the MVP Act. I'm thankful for Representative Kagan's leadership on this issue. As a freshman member of our committee and a former Navy helicopter pilot, there's nobody more well-suited to lead this effort than her. She's a tireless advocate for our nation's service members and veterans, especially for those in her district in Virginia. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize the other important legislative efforts on today's agenda. H.R. 1829, offered by Congressman Crane, would create a retreat facility in Gila County, Arizona, for veterans and their families to relax and enjoy the outdoors with their families. H.R. 2468, the Mountain View Corridor Completion Act, offered by Representative Owens of Utah, conveys land within the boundary of Camp Williams, an important National Guard training facility, to the state of Utah to complete the Mountain View Corridor. Finally, Representative Levin's GROW Act is a bipartisan bill that helps veterans find employment at the Department of Interior through a new pilot project. Only 1 in 4 veterans have jobs lined up after leaving the armed forces. Representative Levin's legislation will enable veterans to find stable, well-paying jobs that enable them to be outdoors. In closing, I believe our agenda today honors our military members and veterans and will hopefully make tangible and meaningful improvements in their lives. I want to thank all the bill sponsors for their leadership on these important bills before us. I also want to recognize and thank the witnesses for being here and for your advocacy on behalf of our nation's brave heroes.